you always have to bring value. That's the base, and it's not about you, it's about others.
Hi babes, Lady Silverstoned here, and welcome to my podcast, where we're trying to demystify cannabis, one conversation at a time. Today I'm talking with Clara, a French cannabis babe who is based in Barcelona. She's the founder and CEO of Herb&Co and has a few other exciting projects that you will hear about. She also has great tips on how to get into the cannabis industry, thanks to her many years in the field. I hope you'll enjoy, babe. Hey, babe.
So how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Happy FourTwenty.
Happy FourTwenty.
This is our day.
Yes.
As the tradition wants, every time I begin to talk with you, I'm rolling a joint.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so I actually already prepared myself because, I have this vape.
I would love to go to vaporization right now because I stopped tobacco like 2 months ago now.
Well done.
And it was hard but doable. Anybody can do it actually.
Yeah. How long had you been smoking before?
I began when I was 14 and I'm 27 now. So it was like 13 years already.
Yeah.
It's like
that's a long time.
So, and I was feeling it in my pulmon, in my skin, in everything,
Yeah.
So, and even with the effect of the weed, like I was reading a lot that it could like totally damage it, that it doesn't reveal the real effect of the weed, of course, for the test,
Totally,
so,
yeah.
Totally quit. And now, little by little, just the fact to smoke, it's actually bothering me. I feel like if once you don't have the nicotine addiction anymore, like the fact of smoking, it's a bit not natural at all.
Yeah, it's actually really heavy for the lungs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I'm always coughing. So now even if I smoke only pure, I'm coughing for my joint. I have like a hard time, So
yeah.
I'm really looking for everything to be open again so I can go in the vape shop. Like I'm also watching bongs, but bongs is still vaporization. It's still, combustion.
Yes.
So it's still like I'm doing some bong, it's still hurting a bit. So I think this is a very, very good way to consume weed.
Totally. And you feel like it's a complete different taste. I mean, you already tried vaporization, I assume, like with the volcano or something.
During my event, exactly. During the event I do, the CBD event, I always put a volcano at disposition, and I'm always breathing wind and going with the volcano because you can really feel the test.
Yes.
It's not so damageable. I'm not giving a joint, I'm not giving like a combustion.
Exactly.
Volcanoes are also a very, very good way to consume everything that is vaporization, really.
Yeah, totally.
As soon as you can go away from combustion.
Exactly. Like if you can, whatever you can do to avoid combustion is good. Like whether you're doing edibles or vaping or oil even.
Exactly, yeah.
Because you do a lot of edibles, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I see that. I love your stories when you do that.
Because thanks to my roommate, I actually have a machine that is called the Magical Butter.
Yes.
So it's not to make any promotion or anything, but it's just so practical, You just need to decarboxylate the weed. So it's really just 30 minutes in the oven in less than 110 degrees.
Yeah.
And then you just mix the decarboxylate.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. And with the butter in the machine, and for 2 hours, you're just mixing it. And once it's out, it's always a good result.
Yes.
Like nice butter, nice tincture, and then from this butter, I'm doing cakes.
Oh, so nice.
So every night I can have a little piece of cake. And always the same is really to not smoke actually.
Yeah.
Because if I'm high, I won't feel the need to smoke, So I'm taking edibles, I'm a bit high, I'm not smoking or less.
But babe, do you have a good brownie recipe then? Because I'm gonna make edibles today, hopefully, or tomorrow. And yes, I want to make a brownie. So I'm obsessed with chocolate. Whatever chocolate there is, bring it to me. I'm here for you, chocolate. And so I really want to make a nice brownie. That is still very soft in the middle.
Yeah, so to say the truth, I am not a cooker at all. I actually don't like it at all. I'm really just making such a simple edibles, like to find. I wrote like easy cake on Google, and this is the first one, and it's so simple that they don't even say to use quantities. You know, they don't say like 100 grams of butter or shit. They just say like 2 spoons of flour, 1 egg, 2 spoons of oil. So it's like, you know, it's like a kid one. It's like a kid. You like to help the parents to cook with the kid. That works perfect. That my cake is good. I tried a little innovation and I tried to put some lemon and it was disgusting. So I was like, I'm gonna stop the innovation. And so I can't. I'm just gonna follow this kid. But then in edibles, my roommate is making banana cakes and rice, pop-up rice. How do you say, marshmallow cake?
Ooh. Yeah. Does she have a blog or something where she has her recipes or no?
So she has a brand that is Happy Snack Barcelona.
Happy Snack.
Yeah, Barcelona, where you can have like edibles, also FourTwenty.
Yes, also FourTwenty. Is that the Instagram name also?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, so nice. Yeah, I've seen her stories when she does cake sometimes.
Yeah. That's really, she's a cook of the flat. I'm the one.
Yeah. Oh, so nice. Babe, what did you do last FourTwenty, by the way? I saw in your highlights that you had some yoga event, no?
Last year, like FourTwenty was on the weekend. It was on Sunday. So basically, on Saturday, I made a yoga cannabis class. Then in the afternoon, I had a workshop in a cannabis club. I was doing trying CBD products, etc. Then on the day after, on the actual FourTwenty, I made an event in another club, and there was something else. I will need to check my highlights also. But I know that on FourTwenty, on the same day of FourTwenty, I made an event in a club called Mon Ami, a very good club in Barcelona.
Oh, nice.
And the day after, I made, on Monday, I made another talk in another club. So basically, I had 3 days of events when I was promoting cannabis and CBD and all the culture.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. And it's a shame that this year is like cancelled. And also, okay, now I have a memory. Is also what happened in like here in Barcelona on the 23rd. You have San Jordi. So I made also an event on that day about cannabis and sex. And if it was, I had such a good idea to do this year, it was to do an event called Stoned and Single.
Nice.
And as I did like for King's Day, like 3 years ago, we made like a FourTwenty speed dating.
Nice.
So basically like stoners meeting, you know, so it's like each couple stay like 3 minutes and you turn. And that was so much fun.
Oh, that must have been a really nice ambience in that place, no?
Yeah. It was really fun.
Oh, cool.
There is a video still on YouTube.
Oh, yeah? Do you have your own YouTube channel?
I don't have a YouTube channel because I'm not a content creator. On the basis, I'm not. I'm a marketer, so I'm better at promoting the videos than doing them.
Okay.
And because but just actually this month, so for FourTwenty, I'm gonna launch my educative video. And so this is gonna be like IGTV for the moment, and but the aim is to go to YouTube video because now we have more time. Also, like this time we don't have before.
I seen on your stories you're like, oh yeah, I'm recording a new video. You know, when you have like the backdrop and good lights and stuff. Is that for those videos?
Cannabis marketing class that I'm recording for a French institute. So these are the video. But just now, I'm gonna make educative video. So the first one actually just finished turning it this morning. We also have one with also FourTwenty, which mix a bit more our two universe.
Nice.
Because she's really into the cannabis culture when I'm more into the business culture. And so we made a video that mix a bit the two environments. And she's also going to make some educative video on the cannabis culture. And I'm going to make some educative video on tips to get into the business cannabis industry and also some about the plant.
Okay.
So yeah, actually what I begin to do now because I have more time, but it's for fun. You know, I'm not aiming except educating people and like try to break a bit the stigma.
Good, awesome.
What about you? What did you do for 420 last year?
Oh my god, babe. I was thinking of that today actually, because I was looking at your highlights, and that's when I'm like, oh yeah, so that's what Clara did last year. Because I remember you're one of the first like girls from the cannabis industry that I started to follow.
Ah, nice. That's pleasing to hear.
Super nice. And I saw you do all these events and stuff. I'm like, yeah, one day I'm gonna meet her in Barcelona. So funny. And now we're just sitting here and talking.
Yeah, we should. I'm waiting for you. Huh? Like you should come when everything is down. So cheers. So, and you, what's your plan for 420?
So launching this podcast where you, babe, are the first guest, which is really exciting.
Woo! Yes, thank you so much to invite me. I'm so happy and so honored.
Oh, so exciting. I remember like the first time I tried Volcano. So before I was smoking joints, right? And then the first time I tried a Volcano, so pure, I was coughing so much, even with like vape. I don't know why though, because cigarettes are the ones that are so hard.
Yeah, because it's a different type of inhalation. It's a different type of heat. So basically you have like hair in your throat that are used to a certain type. For example, if you're smoking a lot of cigarettes and you smoke a pure joint, it's not going to go through, and it's because it depends on the kind of hair you have in the throat, I feel.
Yeah.
So I think it's really a different kind of heat and a very kind every time to inhale.
Yeah.
It's like an e-cigarette, you're not going to inhale totally. You're first going to take it in your mouth and then going to inhale. So it's all different kind of reaction the body have with different kind of components, I feel. But I do also have a very different heat every time I'm using something different. And when I stop cigarettes, I know that everybody said to me that the time to get used to the pure joint, because your throat is not used at all if you use tobacco, it got 3 weeks, to really get used to it. And this is because like cigarettes destroy the hair you have in the throat. And like when you smoke cannabis, basically when you stop cigarette but you keep on smoking cannabis are growing, and so that's what makes this gel
scratch.
I don't know how you say, like, this scratch, and so that's why you actually need to but that's worth it, and nobody should smoke tobacco.
Yeah. No, but I'm really happy that you stopped. Like, it's such a relief, when you stop smoking it and like when you don't even want it anymore. It changed so much.
Like, I wrote a book that was so good, and I would advise it to anybody that wants to smoke cigarettes. It's the one from Alan Carr. I don't know if you know that author. It's like I think the book is called The Easy Method to Stop Cigarettes.
The Easy Method to Stop Cigarettes.
Exactly. And it's such a good book that, like, to make it very short, it makes a distinction in between the two addictions of nicotine, that the first one is physical, and it's bullshit, like after 3 weeks it's out, you're just going to sweat a bit and sleep bad for 3 weeks, but it's not painful, it's not nothing of this, it's just like, actually when you don't have joint and you're smoking a lot, you sweat a bit, all this stuff. So it's just 3 weeks for your body to get out of nicotine. But the worst addiction is actually the mental one. The one that as a nicotine smoker, you think cigarettes bring you something. And it's totally true, like cigarette doesn't relax you, cigarette is not social, the cigarette doesn't make you not bored, like this is all mental lies we say to ourselves to comply our mental addiction. So,
totally.
I'm not sure cigarette was the theme of the podcast, but if anybody wants to stop, read that book.
Yeah, because I mean, in one way, like cigarettes is a big part of like the European cannabis consumption, because in the US, for example, most people roll pure with only cannabis. And if you meet the American, they're like, "Oh my God, are you mixing with tobacco?
Yeah,
are you insane?"
Yeah.
And when I stopped, so it was like last year. So 1 year ago, a little bit more, I stopped mixing with tobacco and only made like very small, thin ones with like pure cannabis. it goes so fast to, start like really disliking tobacco.
Yeah. Like the thing from smoking pure. So now I went to like smoking with tobacco also to smoking pure. So with a bit of CBD, I'm going to put like 3/4 of THC weed and like 1/4 of CBD weed. And you smoke so much less. And like for a very long time, the excuse were like, I can't smoke pure, because it's too expensive. And like, this is bullshit because from the moment I smoked pure, I totally smoked less. When I could smoke with tobacco, I could smoke like 10 joints per day easily, easily. And when I stopped smoking tobacco, I naturally stopped smoking during the day because I was working, so I wouldn't, and like because I wouldn't need the nicotine. I wouldn't actually go for a joint when what I really wanted was actually the nicotine of it. So naturally, I was not smoking during the day anymore. And during the night, in front of a movie, I could do like 4 joints, before with cigarette. I was a big smoker, because I was replacing my cigarettes with joints, basically. And and now with the pure, I smoking maybe 1 or 2 in the whole night, and knowing I didn't smoke during the day, so
that's a huge difference.
Yeah, and it's more economic to smoke actually pure. And what for me is like it was totally not true before. So I learned that, and I wish someone would have told me. So maybe I would have done it before.
Yes, I mean, that is so funny because before, when, let's say 3 years ago, I had a friend that always smoked pure. He made very, very like thin ones, long and small, skinny joints. And I was like, ooh, I thought it was like disgusting. I'm like, no, but how can you smoke pure? That's so strong. I had these like, I cannot do pure.
Yeah, of course you have full on idea. Me too, every time I was taking on a pure, I was like so hard for my throat, but because I was just taking like it would be a cigarette, so it was the same, the heat is different. So exactly. No, like there is so much advantage to go to pure. And I used to be such a huge cigarette and tobacco smoker that for me, it's really big to say that. Because like 2 months ago, I was fighting for the contrary, So, guys, go to pure if you can.
Totally.
It's going to help your health and it's going to help your wallet, basically.
Oh, the wallet is a huge change because, I mean, so if you smoke, let's say it's a weekend, you're doing a lot of stuff, you're going to smoke like 10 joints that day. Will you also smoke cigarettes in between?
No, that's the thing. At some point, I was totally lying to myself because at some point I was like, okay, now I stop cigarettes. But that's when I began to smoke joints in the morning. Like before, I would have a cigarette in the morning and then a cigarette in the afternoon and I would smoke a joint at 3. But from the day I said to myself, like I stopped cigarette, my first joint was coming at 11, in the morning. And then I had another one at lunch. And that's why I say like I was totally lying to myself because I was just replacing my cigarette by joint. Thinking it was better, but tobacco was still there, and actually it was way more expensive for me. So this went on for a few months, until I was like, okay, fuck that. No, actually, I changed my mind for very fast. I took a decision. I was fuck that, and from there I just quit all tobacco and like.
And why did you take that decision? Was it mostly for like, were you also thinking a lot about your health, or was it more like the actual cannabis experience itself, or you have wanted to stop for a long time, maybe?
So I wanted to stop for a long time. I actually took the decision in New Year 2018.
Wow.
So 1 year ago. So for a month. So that's why I say like I went to this point, like I stopped cigarettes, but I'm still putting tobacco in my joint, so that it makes sense. But I mean, psychologically, I was not ready, like I was just like, but I didn't really want it. And then in a few months, in 2 months, I had different clean, I don't know how to say, but basically for Christmas, my 2 parents bought me like presents. So the first one was the book I just told you. My dad offered me this book. He said that is amazing, like how the easy method to quit smoking. And my mom offered me a cream for like bad skin, like not light up skin, like that. You are like, cigarette to give you this. I'm like, okay, nice. So this is what kind of like a first like, okay, I'm going to stop soon, And then I went to see my best friend in Portugal. that I haven't seen for like 3 years because she was living in America. And like one of the first things she said to me when I saw her, she was like, "Man, you have a smoker skin. She's really your skin totally changed. You have a bad skin, basically." She said to me. She's my best friend. We shows up. We can say what we want. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, you know. So
you're like, this
when I
is
came
not
back, I was
fun.
like, okay. Yeah, no, like, this is so true. I can't not take it, you know. So,
yeah, was it like that made you like, okay, no, now it's too far? Like, if my best friend can see that I have bad skin.
Yeah. Like that was my last boom. You know, after a year of making the mental shift, and then like having my parents really putting on it, and really just for me, I was coughing so much. I was just seeing my bad skin, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So I just on the 12th of February, I was like, I'm done. And,
well done, babe. So it's more than a month.
Yeah, it's 2 months actually.
February. God, yes, 2 months.
Yeah, it's 2 months.
Yeah.
And I know I'm totally over it because 10 days after stopping, I went to Paris, you know, in a very critical situation. And even after just 10 days, people like with cigarettes around, like they proposed me a cigarette, a friend proposed me a cigarette, and I was like, no. And I didn't take it. So I'm like, okay, I'm out. And that's the book, really. Like the book just make you realize so much things that you need to hear when you're a smoker. Because you keep on lying to yourself, you know, like when you're
okay, so it's like he's disrupting your
all your belief. Yeah, exactly, all your belief.
Okay, nice. That's really good. I'm gonna put the name of the book like in the description of this podcast so people can. So send it to me, babe, after, so I remember.
Okay, I will. Yeah. This is such a good book. And because this is really a good book. So I see this guy wrote another book about how to stop cannabis. So like, why would you ever want to stop cannabis?
Exactly.
And then you're like, why did he write that? I don't understand. I loved him so much, and suddenly I'm like, fuck you.
You're like, I am not supporting you for the second book.
But actually, it's because it's a method. So it's kind of the psychanalyst. So he wrote the same for everything, you know. He wrote for like cannabis, and he wrote like to lose weight, and he wrote to eat less, and he wrote because it's just a mental way to see the thing. So it can, once you have it, you can apply it to anything, kind of. So that's why he turned it in every situation to make more money.
Sorry for interrupting. I hope you enjoy listening so far. Please check out my account Lady Silverstoned at patreon.com so I can continue creating cannabis content for you. Okay, so babe, what was your first cannabis related job?
My first cannabis related job was, I was so lucky I got in charge of the marketing of the very first CBD company in France called Harmony. I arrived in Harmony when there were just 4 employees, he basically said to me, "Make known my brand," you know. And I was like, I just had my graduation, and so that was my very first job. And how I got the job, it just total. I never understood how that happened. Did I tell you last time?
I'm not sure if you told me.
That's the thing, like it's totally, how do you say, like I think that destiny that just put it on my way because, but I'm telling you the story, right? So basically I just got my graduation. I was in a job. It was so shitty, like very, very bad job, very bad company, very bad values. So I quit and like on the same day, so I'm like, not planned, you know, like I was planning to quit that job a bit later, but because of the trouble I had during the day, I decided on an instinct. Now, you know, I said, okay, now I quit. Ciao, guys. So I'm leaving the company. So first, I wouldn't have to be working at that hour of the day, you know, and I decided to go to that cannabis class that is called Dr. Dow. So that's the thing. I should have never been that Dr. Dow at that time normally. Then when I arrived in Dr. Dow, it was everything empty except one guy that was at the other side sitting alone, you know. So in any other situation, I would take like an empty living room, you know, because it's a club with different living rooms. So instead of going right to this guy that I don't know and I have no idea who is he, and he looked busy, I decided to go to him and I said to him, like, is it free? Obviously it was free because it was empty, this club. So I was like, is it free? And I hear that he said to me, no. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, is it free? And he was like, no. And I'm like, man, that's weird because it's empty. So I'm like, okay, whatever, it's cool. I'm just going to go in another living room. So when I go to sit in another living room, so I was about to sit, you know, so that's what the story should have ended here. This guy is coming back to me and he said, no, I think you misunderstood. This is free. So in a normal way, I would have said, it's okay. You know, I'm like, I'm just stay here, you know, but I don't know why. You know, I decided to go and follow him and say, okay, so I'm just going to sit in this living room. And from there, we begin to talk. And because I just quit my job and, you know, like you can see now I'm very like talkative. I just begin to him all my life, you know, like I was with this motherfucker and I did that and now I lost my job and I'm happy and I just like blah 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 blah.
Yes, but I'm happy.
You know, like, and at the end of the discussion, he looked at me like, you know, so I need a girl that likes cannabis and that has a big mouth. Would you like to work for me? And I was like, fuck, yeah, why not? What you do? And that's when he said to me, like, he has this company of CBD and like blah, blah, blah. So, and from there, I got the job in Harmony. So this is just a following of stuff normally it should not have happened. And the universe made it happen in somehow. So I'm like, that was fucking destiny. Yeah?
But in the end, you did. You were actually the one that did make it happen. Because you were like, no, but I'm gonna go towards there. And then you were the one that went back, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That I took the decision, but without any sense. If it was me controlling, basically, like I wouldn't have done that. You know, like I would go home, you know, and I would like smoke a joint at home, and like I was like just not really thinking about anything, you know. And you just like, okay, I quit my job. What do I do? Oh, doctor, do okay. Let's go to this guy. I don't think. So, yeah, I don't know.
That's a very good lesson to people that, you know, so many people feel that, no, but nothing is going to happen if I don't do it, like all these 100 steps. No, you can actually just, sometimes you meet a person and it can be your future employee or your future partner or your future like best friend or whatever, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That is when if you want to get in the cannabis industry, it's really, really important that you are talking with the cannabis community, you know, like if you are like lucky like us, that you go in the club and talk to everybody, you know, that basically hire from my job, or like if you're not in a place where it's legalized and you just go on internet, you know, and make yourself known, you know, like exactly like you do, basically like make yourself a name, you know, and like show that you're here, and like so yeah, for sure, like if you want to get in the cannabis industry, you must always your first priority should be to connect with its community, because you're gonna find friends, you're gonna find employees, you're gonna find boss, you're gonna find people that want to launch a company. So you never know who you're gonna talk to exactly, and
so true.
Like the next people you're going to connect with might be the one that change your cannabis career.
Oh, totally. So, I mean, you have met a lot of people that both like work in cannabis and also as you work with small brands. Like, what do you feel is the biggest, let's say, mistake that people do when they want to come into the cannabis community and the cannabis industry? What is the biggest mistake that they do? Is it like not connecting to the community fully, or?
For me, it's to not bring values. It's like they're coming into the community for themselves. So basically, they will want to be seen, they will want to be known, but they won't be here to bring values to the community. So bring education and bring maybe information and bring what you can, you know, like whatever you have, like. Anytime you are connecting with someone and anytime you are, I mean, it's more virtual on social media, you know, if you want to have an impact, you always have to bring value. That's the base, and it's not about you, it's about others, and when you both bring value to others, then they're gonna ask, I want to know that person, and that's how you're gonna make yourself a name. But it's not by coming and say, I'm this and I'm gonna do that and I'm you know what I mean? Like, be there for your community and your community will be there for you. You first have to work on the job for the job to work for you. I'm full of hustling quotes. Like, spending my days to watch Gary.
Here we have Clara with some 420 quotes, wisdom quotes.
Stoner hustler, we got it. But basically, always bring value to your community. Always, whatever you do, bring value, and the community before yourself.
Dear listeners, if you like what you hear, please check out my Patreon. The link is in the description here below. Only if you're able to, of course. Now, let's get back to our guest. So now you are the founder and CEO of Herb & Company.
Yeah. So I founded Herb&Co last year in March after founding the Tree CBD. But I founded Herb&Co in March, and it's the first marketing agency for the cannabis industry. Because what happened is, like, when I left Harmony and I worked 2 years in marketing for Harmony, so I get specialized in cannabis marketing. That is really such a specific kind of marketing, because cannabis marketing is basically prohibited. So it's not marketing. I used to call it growth hacking because it's not real marketing, So we got specialized with Harmony team into cannabis growth hacking. And when I go out of Harmony, I realized how many companies were contacting me to ask me to do the same for them, and all sides, basically, like web development, SEO, outside of marketing. I mean, web development, SEO, emailing, event, experience, trade shows. Everybody had a different need, and that's how we realized that cannabis companies are just normal companies, and they just have the same needs as any other companies. So if you want to be in cannabis, you don't have to be a grower, to be such a specialist in the thing. So basically, what happened is, I decided to recruit all the people that quit Harmony, so that were already specialized in cannabis growth hacking, and I hired them as freelance for Herb&Co. And so that's how now I have a web developer, I have a photographer, currently working. Before I had a legal advisor, but he had to stop. And I have an SEO expert also. So basically, I can do social media, emailing, I can do SEO, I can do events. So basically, a new company opening in the cannabis industry can contact us to take care of which is very specific for cannabis. So specific, so important. You need to really take care of how you promote to be sustainable. And so that was my cannabis marketing is so important. And so I launched Herb&Co. And last year, it's going well. We have less freelance, but more contracts. We got really lucky with Germany, actually. We began with some clients in the UK, one in France, and then we had 3 in Germany that really, really gave us funds. And so thanks to this fund, now I'm working on a new project. So it got registered. I can say it with nobody can steal it from me. It's going to be Hired. And Hired is the first freelance job platform for the cannabis industry.
No way!
So I'm trying to have it ready for FourTwenty, but the website is such a technical mess because it's basically like Job Indeed or Job Today, this kind of platform where everybody can put an announce. So that it's this for the cannabis industry, but it's so technical, everything that we put a month to put one widget, So we're
So is it only companies going in and placing their jobs, or can you go in there as me, for example? I do content creation. Can I say that I do content creation and then they can find me?
Everybody can go. the companies can put announce to look for people, freelance can put a profile. Anybody can go put a profile or look for something. So you for a job, the companies can look for a freelance. Then in premium, to make money, of course, we're going to propose to make staffing. So we can propose the companies to staff the team, basically. But yeah, the plan was to have it for Cannabis, and like Cannabis was not ready, so now I'm saying FourTwenty, but it's just a website, the ID, the name, social media open, like the name is ready. Actually, the real plan was to be ready for February. Then we had some trouble with the web developer, so we had to do it I wanted to have it ready for Cannabis. But then fortunately it didn't happen. No, I'm not saying fortunately Cannabis didn't happen, but like Cannabis didn't happen, and for hired it's a good thing only for hired because it was not set up. So we're like, okay, now let's ready for 420. But I'm really not sure I'm gonna have it ready for 420, and it's because the website is such a feature important, and it has to be ultra ready. We can't allow ourselves to have a bugging website in the first weeks, because the first weeks is when you're gonna make your reputation. It's when people are gonna judge you, like if it bugs, people are not gonna come back, So I like better to wait and have like a very good website. And maybe I said that too much to my web developer, and now he's taking too much time. I don't know, but I check with him. I check with him at the same time, and it's really a pain in the ass to make a job platform. I didn't think it would be so hard, to be honest, but it's fine.
Yeah, I can imagine though, because there's so many things that you have to think about.
Because basically there is like two websites to make. There is one website for the companies and one website for the freelance. And then each website has different widgets. So for example, for the freelance, they all need to be able to put a profile, to have an account, to access an account from their stuff. So this is kind of a third website, like their platform, their company is the same.
Yeah, and that's why it's taking a lot of time now, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is only reason because all the rest is ready.
Okay, that's really nice though. So after that, you can just launch it, basically.
So yeah, exactly. I just need to launch it.
Is it gonna be written hired, like high?
Yeah, exactly. That's the trick. Is like hired is HEGH. No, attends, E. But wait.
I.
Yeah, but really not. Look, this is how it's get hired.
Get hired. Now I see it. Oh, but I'm following it already. Did you put it in your story once?
So what happened is like I made the pre-launch in an event when I opened a stand when people could come and because I organized a cannabis experience in February. No. Was it in February? Yeah, in February. And so I opened a stand where people could come and already give me their email. And because basically for a few months now, I'm recruiting. I'm trying to have content for the website. So that means I need profiles from freelance already made, And so I can upload them. So as soon as the website is out, I already have my content. So that's what I did now with some companies, with some freelance. So for a few months, I was kind of like contacting people to send me their profiles, etc. in the events, talking about it. So yeah.
Very nice. I'm really excited to see this website.
Yeah, me too. Huh? Me too. Like we have the design and everything. So yeah, let's see. And now will be the perfect time because people are at home. So more and more people gonna freelance, gonna look for a new job, gonna look like
Totally.
to recover themselves. So that's the perfect time to launch it, really.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a last question actually. What did your parents say when you said that, I'm getting into cannabis business?
So I think that was a very big surprise because they wouldn't even know I was smoking, even though I was already smoking a lot. Basically, my parents accepted because they know that I'm not totally next to my shoes, you know. And so like if I decided to go in cannabis, it was because the job in itself was good, you know. And then because they're very clever, I explained to them what I would be doing, because first I was doing marketing for a CBD company. So I explained to them what is CBD, you know, like different from THC, and like this was like 4 years ago. So like back then, like nobody heard about CBD, you know. And so like my mom, she was really always saying to me, like, if you smoke, you're gonna be a schizophrenic, and like you're gonna have so much trouble. And like, you know, she had such a bad view of cannabis, you know. And because I came and I explained to her, look, there is different side, etc. And because they're listening and they're like clever, once again, they understood, you know, that cannabis is just not getting high. And now it's actually very funny, because my mom is the first one to recommend cannabis to her friends, you know, like when the friend is like, oh, my thing is painful and I have this kind of stuff. My mom, she's like, oh, you know, you should use cannabis. This can be helpful for that and for this. And she herself become a cannabis advocate. And my dad is just a dad, you know. He would accept kind of anything. I'm a daddy's girl, you know, and he's making jokes. So it's really funny, because actually the first year I was working with cannabis, he said to all my family that I was selling weed. So it's not totally wrong, you know, because I was saying CBD, but he was not putting the little how do you say, the nuance, you know. So like what happened is, like one day I arrived to my grandparents. This is actually a very fun story. I will say to everybody. Like to my grandkids and shit. But basically, I arrived to my grandparents for Christmas, my first year. And my grandma, she takes me on the side, you know, and she was like, yeah, Clara, I need to talk to you, blah, blah. So, yeah, you know, your dad is say yes to everything and will accept everything, but selling weed is not okay. You know? Yes, you are like, there is no future in being a dealer. You know, like, you are not going to Barcelona for this, you know, and because she was really thinking that I was a big dealer of weed, you know, that was like super illegal and going like in the street and tweet, you know, and that's just my dad, you know, and that's just so significative of my dad humor, you know. But anyway, so I was like, you know, I was like, you totally misunderstood, you know. I was like, the job I just told you about marketing, this is my way of selling weed, you know, like it's the product is different, blah, blah. So they're still not super convinced. But
still have to work on grandmother a bit.
Yeah, like we still have some education to do there. But it's okay. They love me, and it's always the same. Like in my family, we are really like, if we see you happy and you're healthy and you fine, you know, like you do what you want.
That's how it should be.
Now I'm paying my bills. Yeah, I'm paying my bills. I'm healthy. They see me happy. That all that counts, you know. The day that maybe if I don't know if one day the weed make me very skinny or very like lose my stuff, you know, they will say to me, but
yeah, if you go too far and they like are actually worried about you because you always borrow money or you never eat anymore or you haven't been to the dentist in 5 years because, you know.
Yeah. Like cannabis, like you can have an amazing job and like be super like and healthy and like super like, so for them that's what counts, is like happiness and healthy, you know. And so, and always the same, you know. That's why I think we talked about it last time, but that's why I'm so fucking convinced that education is the thing when it comes to cannabis, because like anybody that is clever and open-minded and that is willing to listen can't be against cannabis once it gets educated. You know, like once you know that there is different cannabinoids, and once you know that it has been proven that it can help, that you know you have an endocannabinoid system, you know, like inside your body making all cannabinoids. Once you know all that and once you get educated, you can't be against. And if you are
still
against it, it's just because you're stupid. And in that case, you don't interest me, and you don't interest, I don't want you in the cannabis community. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they set their mind.
Yeah, and it's really opinion. It's not facts. It's just an opinion. It's like being a religious, it's like being a racist,
Totally.
It's opinion that if you hold up to your opinion after knowing facts, then you're just stupid, and like, that's okay. I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking with clever people. And people really, if they're willing to listen, and so much people change their mind once they receive the information. So the goal of mine is to pull out the information to as many people as possible, basically. Oh, that was pretty. I have a dream.
Clara marching the streets.
That one day we all will be educated on cannabis.
Yes, no, but we have to. Because, I mean, you know so little.
Yeah. Like you will see that coronavirus will change a lot of minds, and maybe people will get more open about it. I have this feeling. I don't know what.
I do hope so. I really do hope so. And that, like we talked about last time as well, after this kind of crisis, I mean, we're already maybe halfway in the corona crisis. So it's going to just continue be down. If we could start growing hemp in Europe, that would be just amazing. And I'm talking about like CBD and THC, not just hemp in general.
Yeah, of course. The thing is like hemp, so not THC, but like hemp, industrial hemp. You know that France has the first production in Europe. So France is the first grower in hemp in Europe. And then France has all the technology to extract hemp, because we are really into like a perfume industry and cosmetic industry. So we do have all the development and all the machines and all the knowledge to extract the hemp. So basically we have all the hemp we need. We have everything to extract it and make amazing product within France, but we just can't sell it. That's why it's so fucking stupid. So instead of using our own hemp in France, and instead of using our own resources and make work our people, we're gonna bring hemp from Italy, and we're gonna bring hemp from China, and we're gonna bring CBD from bullshit, and then that's why I'm getting very mad every time. Maybe I should join a lobby or something.
Yes, do that. Maybe I should just join a lobby. But you're like halfway there, you're already in like a lot of businesses, you're dealing with a lot of the community. So maybe in a few years, that's where you will be,
in a few years, when I don't have company at my name. Because the thing is, like, if you have a company, you can't be a lobbyist. It's an interest in the conflict of interest. And so now I really focus on companies. So basically, I really focus on making money, and when I have the money, I'm spending it in activism.
Hell yes, girl! But do you think, by the way, that like, so how in the US, especially, you have, so many, let's say you can get THC that is like 50%, 60%, 70%, a lot of crazy cookies and all of this. Like, I think it will be very different in Europe. Don't you think?
Yeah, the thing is, like me, I really know about France situation, and I think that people like every country has a different way to do the stuff. But for example, in France, they said, because now they are making in place testing time for medical cannabis. I don't know how you call it, a research group on medical cannabis. So for 2 years, they're going to provide cannabis to sick people. And after the 2 years, they're going to choose if they make it legal or not. And when this came out, there is one thing that I'm clear about, is that recreational cannabis will never be a thing. Like never. Like, so we're never gonna have dispensaries, for example, for at least with that government, like after the crisis, maybe the government will explode and something else come in. But from what they were saying like a few months ago, is like all the recreational side and all the smoking side also will never be a thing. So we won't have this dispensary of high cali weed. If we have a high THC weed, it's gonna be for medical use, basically. It's not gonna be like America to make edibles, and it's just gonna be everything for medical.
So you don't think we're gonna be able to see like coffee shops in France?
I think that if there is I think that if there is a distribution of cannabis product, it will be on a very regulated way to do. So like shop with license, almost only pharmaceutical. That all the high, I think it's not a fact. That's what I think. So it's not the truth at all. But what I think is the high concentration is gonna be kept by big distribution, pharmacists, etc. And then all the small, so like CBD products, like all the well therapeutical side, gonna be led to shops, but we're not gonna have shops of high concentration products. Basically, the high concentration products will be under licensed people and under licensed shops. And like what we're gonna have in dispensaries, if even one day we have dispensaries, is like CBD products or 1-to-1 ratio max, I think. Because maybe like tomorrow the new law go out and but like that's how I see it. That we're not gonna have access to high. France is really not Spain, you know, like, and it has never been the same, you know. So maybe in Germany they're gonna open, it maybe in stuff like this, but France I really don't see it. It's not ready. Not this decade. Maybe next decade, but like this decade, like the medical cannabis, like CBD products and all this shit. Yeah, I'm really talking about the recreational way to use cannabis, you know, like recreational, like all the dispensaries, all the edibles, all the stuff. Like, I don't think we're gonna be legalizing this in the next decade.
But legalize, so then it means that people would be able to grow or not?
Legalize or reglement. How do you say? Like in Spain, it's not legalized. It's what? You know what's the other word in English?
It's decriminalized.
Yeah, but it's like it's c'est réglementé basically. Entouré. You know, like because basically in Spain it's not legal except in the cannabis club or at home. So it's
regulated.
Regulated. Mm. Maybe we're gonna regulate it, you know, but sorry, what was the question? I forgot what question I was answering to.
It was
that's a risk we start now.
Yes. No, but it was on the fact that okay, so it's so that France will not sell high THC then.
I don't think so. They will produce it for sell it and commercialize it, but for specific use, not for recreational way.
Yeah, and now I remembered my question. It was that I said that will people then be able to grow, you think?
This would be, for me, the fact that people can grow is the most important thing in legalization. If legalization or regulation of weed comes without the right to grow at home, then it's total bullshit. And so that's the main thing we should aim for, I think.
Oh, definitely. It should be our right to do so.
And once again, I think this is the last thing government actually wants, that people can grow. Because from the moment you can grow at home, then you can grow your own production, you can grow your medicine, you can go like so many things that they lose control of. So this is the people and government contradiction. You know, like what's best for people is exactly what the government will want not to apply, you know?
Yeah, the right to grow. That's huge for the cannabis legalization. Otherwise, I mean, you cannot have that under control. Do you see what I mean? Like, it's a plant, something that or many people use every day.
It's FourTwenty.
All right. Cheers, babe.
Cheers. Happy FourTwenty.
Happy FourTwenty. I got a nice cloud.
Nice one. Okay, thank you so much again.
Thank you, babe.
It's really nice. I loved it.
Yes. And have an awesome FourTwenty.
Yeah, for sure. That's so good. We made it to FourTwenty. That's perfect. I'm also launching like educative video. It's another format, but I will also invite people. So of course you're going to be one of the first that will be coming.
Oh, is it a podcast or?
It's not a podcast. Because the thing is like now I'm do that because I have time, but as soon as everything is opening up, I need to go back to clients and to everything. So I wouldn't have time to make such how do you say, like régulier, content so regularly. Yeah. So basically, I'm just making very short IGTV about one theme and or one person, you know, and it's gonna be like 5 minutes basically. So this morning I made one, and then I'm gonna invite person and just say like very quick question, you know, like facts experience with cannabis, and you need to answer quick, and then indica sativa and blah blah, you know,
really
and like
nice.
Different subject and 5 minutes like this. And so it's not a podcast; it's a bit less. It's really just key points.
That's really exciting. Super fun.
That's gonna be cool. Yeah. We're gonna see. I made the first one this morning. We're gonna see. Maybe I launch it for 420, maybe a bit later. I like to have a different, like 3 or 4 before launching, you know? So...
No, but that's better. So you have some and don't have to like stress and panic.
Yeah, exactly. You already have like some to go, and like the week you don't have to register, you're not stressed or like.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, babe.
No, thank you. That was really fun. I loved it. It's a pleasure. Like my little eyes. We got high again.
Again?
That's nice.
Yes, so cute.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I can't wait until we do it in real, you know?
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be so fun. For sure. As soon as it's finished everything, we do it for sure.
Yeah. Have a really good day, babe.
You
and
too.
Happy 420.
Ciao. Happy 420.
Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe to my social channels and rate this podcast. And if you would like to support me a little bit extra, it would really mean the world to me. So check out my Patreon profile that I linked in the episode description. It's all thanks to your support that I can continue talking, writing, recording, and making more cannabis content for you and our amazing community. Have an awesome day and lots of love.